But this happened more recently. I was in Chicago. I'm checking into a hotel, and I get recognized as I'm checking in by the guy behind the counter. And it was really strange because he's kind of eyeballing me, and so I get the feeling that he recognizes me from somewhere. But he waits till I'm about to head up to my room, and he finally goes, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Where do I know you from?" And I go, "Oh, I'm a comedian and an actor." And he goes, "Oh, thank God." And I go, "That's a weird reaction. Like, where did you think you knew me from, dude?" Like the guy outside your window going, "What are you doing? Take your shirt off, bro." I'm not that guy. He then goes, "I don't ask people anymore because I had something bad happen." And I go, "Oh, okay, well, I know I'm a stranger, but the rule is when you tell a stranger something bad happened, you then have to tell them the story, right?" I like to make rules up all the time. And it worked, so he tells me this story. And he swears it's true. He swears he's working in the same hotel about 3 years ago. Same kind of situation. A guy comes into the hotel, is checking in, and he's looking at the guy, wondering where he knows him from. The guy sticks out. He's got distinctive features like me. He's looking at him going, this guy's got glasses and an old twirly, old-timey mustache, like a Pringles mustache. Where do I know this guy from? Pringles mustache and glasses. Does he know my dad? Or is he my old professor? Is he on TV? So we finally asked the guy, he goes, "Sir, where do I know you from?" The guy gets mad and screams at him, "O.J. Simpson killed my son." Holy shit, that's the reaction you're supposed to have. Oh my God. I've been smoking pot for 20 years, I've never been more awake than that moment. I fucking snapped out of holy shit, you poor bastard. This guy didn't recognize Fred Goldman. And Fred Goldman, remember Ron Goldman's dad from the trial, has that distinctive look. And the poor guy went through hell, right? But he must go through worse now because people probably don't recognize him. Or they do, but they're not sure where. So he probably gets that all the time. And I bet you maybe he was more patient originally, right after. People would go, "Hey, where do I know you from?" And he'd go, "The long trial, don't fit, must have quit, stabby, stabby," that whole thing. But now he can't stand, he just loses his shit when people ask him, so he just yells, "O.J. Simpson killed my son." And I was like, that is terrible, dude. What did you say, And he goes, "Well, what could I say? I kind of just went, ah." I said, "That's what I would have said." And then I thought about it a minute, and I went, "You know what you should have said? Yeah, that's it. That's totally it. Yeah. Thanks." Or if you wanted to have an enemy for life, go, "No, that's not it. Where else could I know you from? Do you go to the Starbucks on 7? I talked about masturbating a lot tonight. There's a reason, because I really love it. And it is amazing. Nature's miracle. Masturbating. Oh, stop. So, I talk about it a lot, and there's a reason, because I love it like this guy. And there's another thing I talk about. I talk about what a nerd I am, and these stories intersect. When I was a kid, I was 9 years old, and the movie Star Wars came out, A New Hope, the first one, right? It's the classic Chapter 4, right? So that came out and changed my life. I was like, I'm going to be a nerd. I fucking love Star Wars now, and this is my favorite thing ever, right? And I got so into it. The other thing about us is me and my mom, single parent, raising an only child, we didn't have a lot of money. So I didn't have all the Star Wars toys I wanted. I really only had I had the Obi figure and I had the Luke figure at first, and that was it. So one day I was in the bathtub, and I thought it would be fun to reenact the scene from A New Hope. The battle scene takes place on the Death Star with Obi fighting Vader, right? But I didn't have a Vader. So I used a stand-in. My penis. You guys are ahead of me, clearly. It worked. I was a smart kid. He had a helmet. And I have a black cock for some reason. I don't know why. Mom never explained that. So I'm in there in our small apartment, in the bathtub, fucking battling it out, man, right? This time, Obi might win this time. So Obi's fighting Vader. My mom, all she sees is me in the tub just going, take that, you know, woo, yeah. All she could see is fucking elbows and me into something. So she walks by and goes, what are you doing? Like, lost her mind. And I go, playing Star Wars. You know, I hold up Obi-Wan because Vader wouldn't reach. And she's like, oh, okay. So then, I was a smart kid. I was like, wow, she was really mad. Like, what could I have been doing? Then I found masturbating. So by my mom thinking she was catching me masturbating, she actually taught me about masturbating. And now I love it more than Star Wars. Because masturbating never made like 3 shitty movies about masturbating. There's no awful masturbating prequels out there. So I recently did the Conan O'Brien show, and Kate Beckinsale was there. Familiar with Kate Beckinsale? If you're not, she's a smoking hot British actress that's been in a bunch of, but you know, so she's incredibly beautiful. You ever seen somebody so beautiful that it makes you mad? Like your first reaction to their beauty is anger. You're just like, what the fuck? God damn you. What's your fucking problem, lady? That's how I was when I saw Beckinsale. I'm like punching assistants in the neck backstage and kicking shit over, stomping around like Godzilla. I can never have you. Smash. And she's sitting on the couch talking to Conan about how she had to do a sex scene in one of her shitty movies. And she swears this is true. She said the guy had to wear a cock sock. And now I'd never heard of the cock sock. I don't know if you have, but what it is when they're doing a legitimate sex scene in a movie, they don't want Brad Pitt dragging his $20 million wang against a lady. They'll put his junk in a sack, right? Like in a sock, and then pull it through. Duh, right? Like, that's not appealing at all. Like, I'm sure if I was wearing the cock sock, I'd still be trying to high-five Beckinsale. Like, this is fucking awesome. Put it up. Sorry about the weird half nub, lady. Block that shit out. You're an actress. But I had never heard of the cock sock at that point in my life because, well, I've never done a sex scene in a movie. And I know my place. I know I never will do a sex scene in a movie. Let's hope, or if I do, it'll be like a horror movie. And I won't be the one having the sex. It'll be like some hot young couple getting it on, hot young couple style. It'll be some Rob Zombie movie. I'll be the creepy janitor or the inbred redneck hotel owner just climbed in through the window. They're getting it on hot teen style. I'm over in the corner with my dick out going, get that shit, boy. Get that shit. Woo, doggy, get it. And the guy will be like, what the fuck? And then I'll hit him with a shovel. That'll be time for some night digging. You guys have been awesome, man.
Brian Posehn, ladies and gentlemen! Holy shit!